Hello, hello, it is Philip James, and thank you for coming to my party. I'm doing yet another video, and this time I am going back into the Jawbreaker palette by Jeffree Star, his summer release. I just feel like a pink-purple story just wasn't enough to do the palette justice, so stay with me and we'll see how far it goes. The first thing I want to do, like always, is prime my lids, just because, like I said, they're highly pigmented. I'm going to use the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the color Light Neutral to do that. Did this before, but just kind of my normal routine. Okay, now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and still use a wet base for the shadows to show up. And the first thing I'm going to do is dip into the color Wow, which is a very vibrant yellow. It's a little different than the yellows that he's had in other palettes before. It's kind of like a pollen yellow. I'm just going to kind of start in the inner corner here and bring it up onto my crease. Just kind of stamping it in. Just using a fluffy eyeshadow brush. Just really want to build up that color and get it to be pretty, as vibrant as I can in that first portion. I'm going to be using the lipstick today in the Strawberry Crush, which is one of his new releases for the Jawbreaker collection. And I didn't get to use that in the first video, so I definitely want to showcase it this time around. As I'm just building that color up. Using a little bit of a wet brush did help for some opacity, but I'm really just taking this time right now to give it a punch. I definitely look like I've been sneezed on by a dandelion. Watch out, the bees don't come get me. They say I'm sweet. And if you have deep set eyes or hooded eyes, you know kind of the struggle of getting a lot of these colors to pop and bring it forward. That's why I really like to use the lighter shades on the inside, unless I'm going for a really kind of dark look where like the entire lid is just kind of blacked out. I do like to put the lighter ones in here. The next color I'm going to go into is the shade kind of bleeped it there for you. Kind of like a, I don't know, a pastel-y orange. It's really pretty. It's like a creamsicle color. I'm just going to take another fluffy brush, dip into that. I'm kind of just going to transition through the center. Just tapping it on there. Really bringing it up. I want them to kind of seamlessly blend into each other. Just bringing it all the way up to the brow for now. Well, these two are really blending really nicely together. That's really nice. I managed to get a pool day yesterday, which is really nice. I'm preparing for my big summer vacation here in a few weeks, and I realized I had no color on my skin. And that doesn't bode well, because I don't want to be spending my vacation burnt, nursing myself with a jar of aloe vera gel. One thing I'm really looking forward to is Provincetown, which, if I hadn't mentioned before, is one of my big events every year that I love to do, and it really gives me an opportunity to do something different, different makeup. I don't normally wear makeup every day, so this is kind of like a tour de force. I got looks planned, and I love to plan a look. I don't like to wing it. These have just blended beautifully like a dream together. I don't even really feel like I need to go in and finesse the joining areas too much. The next thing I'm going to do is going to the shade Cute, which is like a teal color. And I know that I said in my last video I love a teal and orange color story, and it just looks like that is where my creative juices are going. So I'm going to go and take another fluffy eyeshadow brush and dip into the shade Cute, tacking it on the outside. I really wanted to kind of be like a rainbow sherbet-y kind of moment, so bringing all these colors together. And this look actually reminds me a lot of the Thirsty palette, which was Jeffree's launch last summer. which I really enjoy that palette as well, and I'll probably be doing looks from that before the end of the warmer months. But I just really love the way these two are blending together as well. This is really a kick back in the pan, but for as often as these shades get used, I'm really not worried about them hitting pan anytime soon. We'll put it that way. This is a very summery, very light look. As you can tell, I'm not doing the normal kind of routine that I was doing with the last two videos where, you're kind of putting in your transition color, you're getting your crease color, and you're blending those gradients outward, you're highlighting your brow bone, all that stuff. I'm doing a little bit of a different, more summery, very light look. A little bit of fallout on the cheeks. Like I said, not a big deal. At least not for me. Inevitably, I'm going to have to go into the middle to kind of make sure that these colors are all kind of getting their space. I'm pretty happy with the way this is going, so I'm going to go ahead and take kind of a flat, like kind of a liner brush like that. And I'm going to go ahead and dip into the shade Sour, which I'm going to start bringing down under here. It's like another green color. I don't want a whole lot of it, mostly because I'm just really trying to keep the green story, but meld them a little bit. I'm actually going to switch brushes here. I'm going to go to one that's a little bit bigger, like that. A bit fluffier. The other one's a little bit too precise. There we go. This is a little bit better. I want the color to be seen, but not to overpower. For this, I'm really bringing the shadow all the way around my eyes, so I'm not really too worried about concealing those areas. I'm going to kind of do that after I've done this portion. And now I'm going to take a similar brush, just a different one. Here we go. And I'm going to go in with the color Cherry Wet, which is kind of a deeper red color. Just really going a little bit deeper on the lower lash line than I was going up into my lids. And as you can tell, I brought the shade Wow, the yellow shade, kind of down and around. And I'm just going to connect those two together. Okie dokie. So now I'm going to just go ahead and conceal a little bit. I don't want to do too much. For the inner corner highlight, I'm going to use the shade Lemon Drop now, which is a shimmery yellow. And I'm going to just kind of get my kind of pointed brush like that, which it says it's a lip brush, but really they're all going on the face. I'm going to use a little bit of setting spray to make it adhere better. Tap it in there. I think this would really pop too if I put like a white crayon on the lower waterline. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm just going to use a NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in white. I'm going to go ahead and if you get in your lashes, that's what mascara is for. Okay. I think I'm gonna be a little basic and use a colored mascara, but I want to put down a base first. I'm going to use the Voluminous Slash Paradise. I really like this one a lot. So I hope most of you have gotten a chance to pick up this palette yet. If you haven't, so sorry. I'm sure it's not going anywhere. It'll be, if it's sold out, it'll be restocked soon. All right, colored mascaras, where did they go? Okay, so I have a mint and a pink. I think I'm gonna do both. I'm going to do the minty on the bottom and the pink on the top. Does anyone else's nose run when they put on makeup? All right, just a little bit on the outside. I want to keep like more of the inner lashes black. Just kind of want to highlight them, if you will. Alrighty, now I've got my mascara on. I've got my shadow on. I've lined my eyes. I guess it's now time to put a little highlighter on, and I think I'm going to use the Skin Frosted Mint Condition by Jeffree Star. I know it's... Oh, there's just been so much by Jeffree on this video so far. But this is the color. Now, it isn't going to be that intense on my skin. I have used this before. I'm just going to use a regular Wet n Wild highlighting brush. Just kind of pack on the product here. I chose the mint because I have the green on the outside of my eyes, and I think they would kind of go well together. I also have a rainbow highlighters by Wet n Wild. They're not as practical for like everyday use, but they could be fun with a look like this. I'd like to do one on my channel using a rainbow highlighter. Freshly highlighted. For bronzing, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Color Icon bronzer in Ticket to Brazil. Just kind of round it out. The tough part is that I'm bald. I get it. Shaved head. So you don't want any like line of bronzer. So I just kind of oftentimes blend it out into my scalp. So I went ahead and did all of that. So now it is time for the lip. I am going to line it, yes. Mostly because I want the color to pop, but I think I'm going to use this. It's the Gel Lip Liner Crayon in Sand Nudes by Wet n Wild here. And it's like just a really light color. I want to really like kind of outline my mouth so that the vibrance of that Strawberry Crush just really pops. So there's also a nice little trick too if you have a thin upper lip or, you know, you're not as plump as you'd like. This will, using like a white or a really light lip liner will give a more sense of a fullness. It'll kind of look like a light catching. And if it's not perfect, it's not perfect because lipstick's going over it, so you can always fix it later. Alrighty, time to get this color out. I'm anxious to try this one. I have not tried it on. I used it for my spots on my Jawbreaker original video, but not on the lips. Wow, what a color. Whew. Strawberry Crush, you are definitely neon. You're giving me Ronald McDonald realness. I'm gonna go ahead and take a little bit of the shade Jawbreaker on my ring finger and just tap that in the center. A little bit more Jawbreaker on there. I think that's a little bit better. All right, I'm gonna clean up a few things and then I'm gonna come back with a little bit more of a reveal. Voila! Here it is, the final look. I went ahead and changed my shirt, put on a little scarf that echoes a lot of the colors that we were using, and I'm just ready to go out, have a cocktail, a little Sunday Funday. And thanks so much for coming to my party. I really appreciate everything. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment, preferably a nice one. Constructive criticism is always welcome. And thanks so much, and until next time, see you later.